The stars stretched endlessly across the black sky, each one a cold, distant sun lighting a galaxy that had long learned to fear unpredictability. Among these countless systems floated a small research station, orbiting an unremarkable blue planet. To anyone else in the galaxy, it was just another dot in the void. But to the aliens observing from their high council chamber, this station was extraordinary. The council had been watching humans for months. At first, they had thought humans were just another fragile species, barely capable of surviving in space. Yet their instruments had begun reporting anomalies. Dangerous energy fields, unstable alien artifacts, and volatile substances, all of which had destroyed lesser civilizations, seemed harmless whenever humans touched them. A holographic display flickered in the council chamber. 4 alien scientists hovered over it, their long, translucent fingers tapping and adjusting the visuals. "They handled the plasma core again," hissed one of them, its voice like grinding metal, and it did not explode. Not even a spark. Another alien, taller and covered in shifting metallic scales, shook its head. "Impossible. That energy should have vaporized them instantly. We have tested this hundreds of times. Nothing survives direct contact." A third, a pale, gelatinous creature that seemed to float more than walk, pressed its appendage to its chin. "It is not just the core. Every object we have observed, every one, is handled with calm, with understanding. They are unafraid," the council murmured among themselves. "Perhaps it is not survival. Perhaps it is instinct." The aliens' confusion grew as the camera pans shifted to the humans inside the station. They were moving quickly but carefully, each action deliberate yet fluid. Alia, a young human engineer with keen amber eyes, bent over a glowing crystalline artifact. Sparks flew from its jagged edges, yet when she picked it up, it stabilized in her hands, pulsing softly. She smiled. "Got it," she said to her team. "Just a little adjustment and it's fine." Beside her, Commander Jonas observed a volatile energy container. The container had a swirling core of unstable particles, the kind that had wiped out entire research colonies on other worlds. Jonas touched it lightly, his fingers brushing the surface. The particles inside seemed to calm, spiraling gently like a miniature storm that had found its center. "Every time I see it, I forget it's supposed to kill us," whispered his colleague. Lyra, shaking her head in amazement, unknown to the humans. Their every move was being transmitted across the void to the alien council. The aliens' compound silence spoke volumes. They were stunned, frightened, and fascinated all at once. "How can they?" muttered the tall, metallic-scaled alien. "They touch everything. They are not like any species in the galaxy," said the pale, floating one. "We have never seen instinct and fearlessness combined. It is unnatural." On the station, Alia carefully connected the artifact to a nearby console. The machine, ancient and covered in alien symbols, hummed to life. Lights blinked erratically, the symbols glowing in sequence. Humans had not studied this technology before. They had found it abandoned on a distant world, but when Alia touched the interface, it responded immediately, obeying her subtle gestures as though she had designed it herself. Jonas frowned at the console. "This shouldn't work. None of us understand its mechanism." And yet, he trailed off, watching Alia manipulate the device with ease. Outside, the station's sensors detected a small gravitational anomaly nearby. It was unstable and extremely dangerous. Other alien species would have deployed remote drones or containment fields, fearing even a slight approach. But humans didn't hesitate. Alia and her team moved toward the anomaly with a confidence that made their observers shiver. "They will be dead in moments," one alien council member whispered, his voice tight, but they weren't. Alia extended a gloved hand and touched the swirling mass. It rippled like water under a gentle stone, then calmed. The anomaly stabilized, spinning slowly in perfect equilibrium. The council chamber fell silent. The floating alien, pale and quivering, finally spoke. They are alive, and nothing has harmed them." "They can touch anything," hissed the metallic-scaled alien. "Everything. Nothing is forbidden. Nothing destroys them. How is this possible?" Back in the station, the humans were unaware of the observation. For them, it was simply another day of problem-solving, of curiosity, and of experimenting. Alia set down the artifact and turned to her team. "This is incredible. We're touching things no one else could handle for centuries. And nothing's breaking, nothing's exploding." Lyra laughed, a soft, relieved sound. It's like the universe just listens to us. Weird, isn't it? Jonas shook his head, half amused, half bewildered. I've spent my life worrying about containment fields, safety protocols, and alien hazards. And here we are, just walking up and touching them like it's nothing. Maybe it is nothing, Alia said, tilting her head. Maybe the universe isn't trying to stop us. Maybe it's waiting for us to figure it out. Unseen by them across the void, alien scientists recorded every gesture, every subtle movement. Their curiosity was growing into unease. This is a phenomenon we do not understand, the pale floating alien murmured. If humans can touch anything, if they can survive contact with the most dangerous forces, then the balance of the galaxy is at risk. What do you mean? Asked the metallic-scaled alien. If they can touch anything, then control is lost, the pale alien said slowly. They are unpredictable. They are not bound by fear. They do not respect limits. They defy the rules of survival itself. This is dangerous. Meanwhile, Alia's team had discovered an alien machine partially buried under ice on the planet below. It pulsed faintly, as if waiting for something. The humans approached carefully, their hands brushing over the metal surface. The device responded immediately, lights flickering, circuits coming alive. It had been dormant for thousands of years, untouched because every other species had feared its instability. Yet humans touched it, and it woke up as though it recognized them. Alia's eyes widened. It's alive, or maybe it knows we won't break it. Jonas frowned. This shouldn't be possible. This is technology from civilizations long gone. We should be dead just being near it, but they were not dead, not even close. In the alien council chamber, the air was tense. They are different, one alien whispered. We cannot predict them. We cannot control them. Everything we know about survival, about danger, does not apply to humans. They touch the impossible, said another, voice trembling, and nothing stops them. Not energy, not artifacts, not ancient machines, nothing. The aliens debated furiously, a storm of worry and fear. They had always believed themselves the most advanced species in the galaxy. They had mastered energy manipulation, gravitation, and even time-bound experiments. But humans defied understanding. Back on the station, Alia held the alien artifact, now fully stabilized in her hands. She looked at her team and smiled. I think we're just getting started. Outside, the stars shone silently. Somewhere across the void, aliens whispered the same words in horror and awe. Humans can touch anything. The Galaxy Council's chambers were silent, but the tension was thick enough to feel across light years. Every alien member of the council stared at the holographic feed of the human research station. Weeks had passed since the last anomaly report, and the council was both fascinated and terrified. They survive everything, hissed the metallic-scaled alien, its voice low and rattling. Everything we know to be deadly, and they touch it as if it were safe. They are unafraid, said the pale floating alien, shifting nervously. I do not believe this is instinct alone. This is something else, something beyond comprehension. A consensus formed quickly among the council. Humans could no longer be observed from a distance. They needed to be tested. The aliens would see firsthand if these creatures were truly capable of touching anything, or if the universe itself had been exaggerating. In the void outside the blue planet, a sleek alien delegation ship appeared. It was long and angular, black as void and humming with dangerous energy. Inside, the delegation prepared a series of objects, deadly artifacts, unstable energy cores, and ancient devices designed to annihilate any unprepared species. These objects have destroyed civilizations, said the delegation leader, a four-limbed alien with eyes that shimmered like molten metal. If humans survive contact, then we must reconsider everything we know. The ship's engines fired, and it entered orbit near the human station. Alia and her team noticed the arrival immediately. They were used to strange signals, but this was different. Purposeful, directed energy readings from another intelligence. Jonas frowned, glancing at Alia. Visitors. And judging by the scans, they're bringing dangerous stuff. Sounds like a test, Alia said, excitement lighting her eyes. I'm not scared. The aliens beamed their objects down to the station. A gravity-stabilized platform held the artifacts. Jagged crystalline shards, pulsating energy cores, and a spherical device that vibrated with an unpredictable rhythm. Other species would have required dozens of safety protocols just to approach these objects. Humans, however, simply walked toward them. The first object was a crystalline shard, known to emit energy waves that could incinerate any living tissue. Alia extended her hand and touched it lightly. The shard vibrated violently, but instead of harming her, it began to glow steadily, harmonizing with her touch. Jonas stepped forward. "It's calming down. Like it recognizes her," said Lyra, her voice filled with awe. The aliens monitored this through their feed. Their eyes widened.
"Impossible,"
one hissed. "The energy should have. No species survives this intact." Next, a container of volatile plasma hovered above the platform. The plasma swirled chaotically, threatening to erupt. Alia studied it carefully, then reached out, allowing her fingertips to graze the surface. The plasma stilled, swirling gently as if guided by an invisible hand. One of the alien delegation members muttered, "It is," controlling it with their touch. Jonas moved toward a spherical device that emitted low-frequency vibrations. Every vibration had shattered containment fields in alien labs for decades. Jonas touched the sphere. The vibrations ceased. Slowly, the sphere rotated, responding to his subtle movements as though it had a mind of its own. Lyra whispered, "How are they doing this?" "They touch," Alia said simply. "We feel it, we adapt. That's all." The alien delegation's fear began to grow. "This is not possible," hissed the leader. "It defies all laws of physics, of energy, of survival. No species could interact with these objects without instant death." Meanwhile, humans were exploring a larger device, an ancient alien machine that had remained dormant for centuries. The machine flickered with unstable light and emitted pulses that could tear apart metal. Alia extended her hand. The pulses slowed, synchronized with her touch, and the machine stabilized completely. Jonas frowned. "It's like it knows we won't break it." "Yes," Alia said softly. "It responds to respect, not fear." The aliens had sent the objects as a challenge. They wanted to see if humans could be harmed. Instead, humans tamed every dangerous artifact. The delegation's whispers turned to panic. They are not just surviving," one alien said. "They are mastering it. Intuitively." "How is that possible?" Alia, sensing the delegation's presence, spoke aloud. "You don't need to be afraid of what you don't understand. You just touch it, feel it, learn it. Nothing is untouchable." The aliens didn't respond. Their scanners showed results they could not explain. Some argued that humans had an unknown genetic adaptation. Others thought humans had advanced technology hidden inside their biology. But all of them agreed on one terrifying truth: humans could touch anything. The delegation decided to raise the stakes. They activated a relic from a lost civilization, a device capable of emitting a deadly energy wave across the platform. It pulsed with raw power, enough to vaporize anything within meters. The aliens expected the humans to hesitate, to shield themselves, or worse, to die. Alia stepped forward. The others moved instinctively beside her. With a calm breath, she reached out. The deadly wave struck her hands. And yet she did not burn. Instead, the energy seemed to bend around her, stabilizing in a gentle, pulsating light. Jonas gasped. It's stopping itself." The aliens watched in disbelief. "This is not survival, this is dominance over the impossible," whispered one. Lyra touched the sphere of energy beside Alia, adding her strength to the stabilization. The relic now pulsed in harmony with human intent. Even the delegation's instruments struggled to measure the energy. It was bending, adapting, and obeying humans' subtle gestures. The delegation leader banged a claw against the console in frustration. "Impossible. This should not happen. They control it. With mere touch." Alia looked up at the monitors showing the aliens. "It's not control," she said softly. "It's understanding. We touch to learn, not to dominate. That's why nothing harms us." The aliens were silent. None had expected philosophy from a species they thought fragile and simple. Yet the humans' words carried weight. Calm confidence, absolute fearlessness, and an instinctive knowledge that the universe could be navigated with care and creativity. The humans then explored a large alien portal device that had remained dormant for millennia. The portal flickered with unstable energy, threatening to collapse into a singularity. Alia touched the control panel. The portal stabilized, its energy flowing smoothly as though it had been waiting for her. Jonas stepped closer, fascinated. Everything we feared for centuries just obeys them. Yes, Alia replied. Nothing is impossible if you don't fear it. The alien delegation's panic grew. If this species survives contact with objects designed to kill, what else can they do? One whispered. We cannot predict them. We cannot contain them. They are evolutionarily unpredictable. The humans, unaware of the fear they had inspired, continued to explore the alien objects. Every touch, every movement was precise, instinctive, and calm. Finally, Alia gathered the team. We need to catalog these. Every one of these objects is important, and we need to understand it, not just survive it. That's the difference. The aliens retreated from the monitors, unable to comprehend what they had witnessed. They are extraordinary, admitted one. More than we can calculate. More than any species we know. They are dangerous, said another. Not because they seek harm, but because nothing can harm them. We cannot predict what they might do next. We cannot contain them. We are powerless. The humans, meanwhile, had finished their initial exploration. Alia looked at her team and smiled. I think the universe is ready to show us its secrets, and we're ready to touch them. Far across the void, the alien delegation transmitted their report back to the council. They touch everything. They survive everything. They do not fear. They do not break. This is not just survival. This is humans. In the council chamber, the murmurs were full of awe and fear. If they can touch anything, then they can change everything. The galaxy may never be the same. The alien council had convened again, their chamber filled with tension thicker than neutronium. Screens glowed with live feeds from the human research station, showing humans manipulating objects that no other species could even approach. The council members whispered in fear and awe, their voices quivering. They survive everything, and they control it, said the pale floating alien, its translucent form trembling. Even the deadliest artifacts obey them. How is this possible? The metallic-scaled alien slammed a claw against the console. They are not following rules. They do not fear. They defy everything we know. This is unprecedented. Finally, a consensus was reached. The council would send a diplomatic delegation to the humans, not for negotiation, not for assistance, but to observe and question them directly. They wanted answers, and if humans refused, containment was considered. The delegation landed on the research station. Unlike the humans, they approached with extreme caution. Each step was measured. Every movement was calculated. Behind their calm exterior, however, each alien's mind raced with questions, doubts, and growing fear. Alia and her team noticed them immediately. Jonas raised an eyebrow. Visitors again. Looks like they want to talk. Or maybe test us more. Alia smiled faintly. Either way, we handle it the same way we handle everything. She walked toward the delegation, her posture relaxed but confident. The leader of the delegation, a four-limbed alien with eyes like molten metal, stepped forward. Its voice was sharp, cutting through the hum of the station. Humans, we demand an explanation. How do you survive contact with objects that are deadly? How do you touch the untouchable? Alia tilted her head, studying the alien carefully. You want an explanation? I'll give you one, Jonas muttered under his breath. Here we go. Alia took a deep breath and spoke clearly, her words calm, yet filled with authority. It's not power. It's not magic. It's not some hidden technology inside us. It's instinct, curiosity, and respect. The aliens exchanged glances. Instinct, respect? That will not prevent instant death, hissed the leader. Perhaps not for you, Alia said softly. But for us. Yes, we touch, we learn. We experiment. We feel the danger, but we do not fear it. We accept failure, and we accept responsibility for what we touch. That is why nothing is untouchable for us. The aliens' monitors showed every gesture humans had made, every artifact that should have killed them, every energy wave that should have annihilated their bodies. Yet humans had survived, adapted, and in some cases even stabilized these dangerous forces. One alien whispered in disbelief, They are teaching philosophy while surviving annihilation. Yes, Alia said, sensing their doubt. We do not touch to conquer. We touch to understand. That is the difference. Jonas stepped forward, adding, It's about adaptation. We don't rely on fear or preset rules. We respond. We experiment. And when something is dangerous, we find a way to harmonize with it instead of letting it destroy us. The delegation leader's eyes narrowed. This is not science. This is philosophy. Yet you demonstrate results beyond comprehension. Every device, every object, obeys you. It bends to your presence. It stabilizes when you interact. You are evolutionarily incompatible with any control measures we know. Lyra nodded. We've learned to survive because we must. The universe does not wait for anyone. Danger is everywhere. And if you freeze in fear, you fail. But if you touch, if you understand, you adapt. That is the principle we follow. The aliens were silent for a long moment. They had never encountered a species that understood danger through touch rather than avoidance. Every other civilization relied on remote manipulation, shields, or distance. Humans walked into the storm and calmed it. Suddenly, Alya's hands brushed a relic that had been dormant for centuries, its surface jagged and glowing with unstable energy. Instead of quivering violently, it pulsed gently under her fingertips. The aliens' instruments went wild, readings they could not interpret. This relic, Alya said, responds to intention, not force, not fear, not control, only intention. That is why it obeys us. The delegation leader backed away slightly, fear evident in its posture. You can influence energy. Through touch. And intention? Yes, Alya replied. And it's not just energy. It's everything we interact with. Our minds, our intuition, our respect for the unknown. It allows us to survive and adapt. One of the younger aliens whispered to another. This is evolutionary superiority, not through weapons, not through strength, but through instinct, adaptability, and courage. The Council had taught them that power was measured by control, by distance, by technology that ensured survival through avoidance. Humans proved a new measure: harmony with danger, trust in instincts, and fearless curiosity. Jonas added, We don't think about limits. Limits are for those afraid to touch. We touch because it is the only way to learn, and when we learn, we survive. When others fail, we succeed. The delegation leader's voice wavered. If this is true, if your species operates in this way, then the galaxy is unprepared. Nothing can predict you. Nothing can contain you. You are evolutionarily unpredictable. Yes, Alya said softly. We do not fear the universe. We embrace it. We learn from it. We adapt to it. That is why nothing is untouchable for us. For a moment, silence fell. Even the hum of the station seemed to pause. The alien's eyes widened as the truth sank in. Humans were not just another species. They were something new, something beyond the understanding of the galaxy. The delegation leader finally spoke, its voice low and cautious. If what you say is accurate, you do not just survive, you redefine survival itself. Your ability, your instinct. It is unlike anything we have ever encountered. You are a threat or a gift, and we cannot decide which yet. Alya smiled faintly. We don't touch to harm, and we don't touch to dominate. We touch to understand. That is all, but yes, maybe that is enough to change the galaxy. The aliens recorded everything, their fear mixed with awe. They had anticipated answers about technology, genetics, or hidden energy sources. Instead, they were given philosophy and instinct, paired with observable results that defied all previous knowledge. Your species, the leader said finally, operates beyond prediction. You survive because you refuse to fear. You understand through touch. And your instinct. It is beyond comprehension. Yes, Alya said. We touch because we are human. And humans have always survived by learning, by adapting, by never fearing what others cannot face. The aliens left the station after their questions were answered, but the message they carried back to the Council was clear. Humans were not just capable of survival. Humans were something the galaxy had never experienced before. Far across the void, in the Council chambers, the whispers were tense. If what they claim is true, humans cannot be predicted, controlled, or contained. Every rule we know does not apply to them. They touch the untouchable, said another alien voice trembling. They bend reality. Not through force, not through technology, but through instinct, understanding, and fearlessness. The galaxy may never recover from this revelation. Back on the station, Alya held the relic, her hand steady, her eyes calm. She looked at her team. We are only beginning. The universe is full of mysteries, and we touch them all. Jonas nodded. And nothing can stop us. Lyra smiled, her eyes reflecting the glow of the relic. The galaxy has never seen anything like us, and now, it will. For the first time, humans understood the true weight of their uniqueness. They were not just survivors. They were pioneers of possibility, fearless and unbound. And the galaxy, in all its complexity and power, had only begun to notice. The galaxy had begun to whisper about humans. In distant star systems, species that once considered themselves supreme now spoke of a new force, one that did not rely on weapons, shields, or containment. Humans could touch anything. Humans could survive anything. And some feared that humans could reshape the galaxy itself. Among the council, a faction of aliens grew restless. They were not awed. They were terrified. To them, humans were unpredictable, uncontrollable, and potentially catastrophic. If humans truly could manipulate anything, they could threaten not just planets but entire civilizations. The faction decided to act. Aboard a stealth fleet, they prepared a trap, a labyrinth of alien architecture and technology designed to annihilate intruders. Gravity fields would crush, energy spikes would incinerate, and sentient constructs would hunt anyone who entered. They called it the Trial of Annihilation, a test meant to either destroy humans or prove their limits. On the research station, Alia sensed unease in the readings. "Something's coming," she said, frowning at the monitors. "Energy patterns in orbit, massive and coordinated." "This isn't a diplomatic visit." Jonas stepped forward, examining the data. "Looks like a fleet. They're armed and they're heading straight for us. No warnings, no messages, just attack." Lyra's hands hovered over the console. "Then we handle it like we always do. Carefully, calmly, and by touching the impossible." The alien faction's fleet entered the planet's orbit, releasing the labyrinth's constructs near the human station. The first wave was a massive gravity trap designed to collapse the station with crushing force. Jonas glanced at the field. If anyone else approached this, they'd be flattened instantly, but he smirked. "We're human, and humans don't stop for gravity." Alia nodded. "Let's move. Step by step." The humans activated their suits and stepped into the labyrinth. Instantly, the gravity fluctuated, threatening to crush them. Alia extended a hand toward a floating energy conduit. It pulsed violently, capable of tearing apart metal. But when her hand touched it, the field calmed. The path stabilized, just enough for her team to proceed. Behind them, alien sensors tracked the team in disbelief. They are not only surviving, they are adapting. The labyrinth was built to destroy intruders. Nothing should work. And yet, the labyrinth's energy spikes fired next, surging unpredictably. Alia's fingers brushed the nearest spike. It bent around her, humming instead of burning. Jonas guided another spike, weaving it into a harmless flow. Lyra touched the central node, dispersing the dangerous energy entirely. The aliens whispered urgently. They are bending energy with touch alone. There is no protocol to counter this. No weapon can harm them directly." The humans moved deeper. Sentient constructs, machines designed to hunt and terminate intruders, activated. They glided silently, their sensors scanning for life signs. Every alien species would have panicked. Humans? They approached calmly. Alia reached out, hand grazing a construct's armor. Its sensors recalibrated instantly, recognizing humans as allies rather than threats. Jonas laughed softly. "It's like they're listening to us." "Yes," Alia said. "Everything reacts to understanding, not fear." The labyrinth was far from over. A massive gravitational anomaly, generated to crush the intruders, loomed ahead. It pulsed with deadly intensity. Alia studied the anomaly, reading the flow of energy, the rhythm of its pulses. She extended her hand. The anomaly trembled, then bent gently around her fingertips, stabilizing. The aliens observing from afar could hardly process what they saw. "It cannot be," one hissed. "They manipulate gravity. With intuition alone. That is impossible." Lyra moved forward to secure a central control panel. It was designed to explode in response to touch. She hesitated for a heartbeat, then touched it. The panel's circuits aligned instantly with her presence. The labyrinth's energy dampened, the danger neutralized. Jonas turned to Alia, impressed. "You've got the patience of 1,000 species, and the touch of one." Alia smiled faintly. "We touch because we care about what we handle, not because we are afraid, or because we want to dominate." The labyrinth's final defense was a massive construct, a towering machine, armed with pulsating energy weapons and sharp appendages, designed to obliterate anything in its path. The aliens hoped it would end the humans' march. Instead, the machine paused when Alia approached. She extended both hands toward it, letting intuition guide her touch. Its energy flow aligned with hers. The appendages slowed. The pulsating energy dimmed. Within moments, it stopped entirely, standing like a statue. The alien faction panicked. "It's stopped. The machine should have destroyed them instantly. Why is it obeying?" Alia stepped closer to the construct, studying it. "It's not obeying. It's responding. When you touch with respect and understanding, even danger listens. That's why nothing breaks when we touch it." Jonas added, "We don't just survive, we learn, we adapt. And when you try to destroy us, we use that energy to survive and protect ourselves." Lyra examined the energy nodes powering the labyrinth. "We can use this, carefully. We can turn their weapons into tools for us. We don't break them, we stabilize them." Alia nodded. "Exactly. Everything dangerous can be tamed with understanding." The humans worked together, touching the labyrinth's energy nodes, constructs, and traps. Each human touch stabilized dangerous systems, turning destruction into control. The alien fleet, watching from orbit, could not believe their sensors. This is evolution beyond calculation. They are not just surviving. They are mastering the impossible. We cannot predict them. The alien faction realized the humans' potential was unmatched. If they reach full understanding of the labyrinth, nothing in the galaxy can stop them, one alien whispered. But humans were not seeking dominance. They were seeking understanding. Alia reached the center of the labyrinth, touching the primary energy core. The core pulsed violently, then aligned with her touch, stabilizing completely. Light spread through the structure and the dangerous energy dissipated. Jonas glanced at the team. All of it, stabilized. Every trap, every weapon, every deadly force, neutralized. Lyra smiled. "And not one of us got hurt." Alia looked at the holographic projection of the alien fleet above. "They fear us, but we don't fear them. That's the difference." The alien faction retreated from the station, sending a single message to the Council. The humans are not conquerable. They touch what cannot be touched. They survive what cannot be survived. They cannot be contained. They are evolutionarily unpredictable. In the human team's common room, Alia held the relic they had stabilized in the labyrinth. Her hands rested gently on its surface. "This is what I mean," she said. "Nothing is untouchable if you approach it with respect and understanding. That's how humans survive. That's how humans thrive." Jonas chuckled. "And apparently terrify the galaxy while doing it." Lyra laughed softly. "They expected us to fail. They expected destruction. And instead, we adapted." Alia looked out at the stars, calm but determined. "The galaxy is full of mysteries, and we touch them all, not to dominate, not to conquer, but to learn. That is the power of being human." Far across the void, the Alien Council convened in a tense emergency session. The reports were clear. The humans had survived the trial of annihilation. They had turned death traps into safe paths, danger into control, and unpredictability into calm mastery. "This species," whispered the metallic-scaled alien, voice low and trembling, "cannot be predicted, cannot be contained, cannot be defeated by anything we know. They are evolution beyond comprehension." And somewhere in the cosmos, humans rested for a brief moment. unaware of the whispers their courage and understanding had stirred. They had survived the impossible, stabilized the deadly, and proven once more that humans could touch anything. The galaxy had taken notice, and the whispers would grow louder. The galaxy had shifted. Whispers about humans had become shouts in council chambers, debates in star systems, and warnings whispered in distant fleets. Species that had once considered themselves the most advanced were now unsettled, unsure whether to fear humans or revere them. Back on the research station, Alia, Jonas, and Lyra had just returned from the trial of annihilation. The labyrinth had been neutralized, every dangerous device stabilized, every energy anomaly subdued, and yet the humans' calm confidence was unchanged. "We did it," Jonas said, stretching. "Every trap, every hazard." "Handled," Lyra laughed softly. "And none of us got hurt." Again. Alia smiled, eyes focused on the glowing relic they had carried from the labyrinth. "We didn't just survive. We turned danger into understanding. That's always been the human way." Above the station, alien vessels arrived, not as attackers this time, but as observers. The delegation that had attempted the labyrinth now approached with caution and respect. They did not deploy weapons or traps. Instead, they sent a message, a request for humans to meet the alien council. Alia studied the message. "They want to see us. Not to attack, to talk." "Interesting," Jonas shrugged. "After everything we've done, maybe it's time the galaxy officially recognizes humans as humans," Lyra chuckled, "or fears us." The delegation guided the humans to a massive council chamber aboard a neutral station. The architecture was grand, impossibly alien and intimidating, but humans walked through the doors calmly, unshaken by the alien grandeur or the dozens of eyes fixed on them. The council's chamber fell silent. Hollow projectors displayed the humans' actions during the trial of annihilation, their calm touch, their mastery over deadly objects, their cooperation and understanding. The council leader, a tall metallic-scaled alien, stepped forward. "Humans," it said, voice echoing, "your actions defy comprehension. You have survived and neutralized every device we could muster against you. You have touched what no species could touch. You have shown intuition, understanding, and courage beyond calculation." Alia inclined her head respectfully. "We did not seek to prove ourselves. We only sought to understand." The council murmured among themselves. The pale floating alien spoke, its voice shaking with awe. "Understanding is the source of their power. Not weapons, not shields, not containment. Their fearlessness, their instinct, their respect for the unknown. It allows them to interact with the universe in ways no other species can." Another council member, a crystalline being with faceted limbs, added, "This is more than survival. They redefine interaction with the galaxy itself. They touch the untouchable, survive the impossible, and do so with calm understanding. Their presence changes the balance of the galaxy." Jonas spoke quietly to Alia. "They're scared of us, aren't they?" Alia nodded. "Not just scared, respectful, and rightfully so. We're humans, and the galaxy, well, it's never met humans like us before." The council deliberated. Some members argued humans could be a threat, unpredictable and unstoppable. Others saw humans as potential allies, capable of stabilizing dangerous regions of the galaxy and mediating conflicts that had raged for centuries. Finally, the council leader raised its claw. "We recognize humans not merely as another species. You are a force unlike any other. A species capable of touching everything without destruction, of adapting to every danger, and of surviving where others fail. We acknowledge your uniqueness and grant humans the role of stewards of understanding." Alia's eyes widened slightly. "Stewards of what exactly?" "Of understanding," the leader replied. "Not to dominate, not to conquer, but to touch, to learn, and to stabilize. You are capable of interacting with the universe in ways others cannot. You are the measure of possibility." The council's declaration reverberated across the galaxy. Reports spread to every star system. Humans are extraordinary. Humans can touch anything. Humans are stewards of understanding. Back on the research station, the humans discussed the council's recognition. "Stewards of understanding," Jonas said, repeating the words thoughtfully. "Sounds like a lot of responsibility." Alia smiled. "It is responsibility, but it's also freedom. We can explore, learn, and stabilize. We can approach the universe without fear, without waiting for permission, and without destruction." Lyra nodded. And the galaxy will watch. Some will respect us, some will fear us, but all will recognize humans as different, as unique. Jonas looked out at the stars. I never thought being human would feel this powerful. Alia turned to him. It's not power over others. It's power to survive, to understand, to touch what others cannot. That is the human way. In the weeks that followed, humans traveled to distant star systems, interacting with relics, artifacts, and technologies that had remained untouched for millennia. Each time they approached danger, they moved with the same calm confidence, the same instinctive respect, and the same fearless curiosity. Alien species observed, and even those who had once feared humans began to learn from them. Slowly, a new philosophy spread across the galaxy. Caution with understanding, respect with exploration, courage without recklessness. Humans became teachers, mediators, and problem solvers, not through domination but through interaction and insight. Alia stood before an ancient portal, its energy swirling violently. Other species had avoided it for centuries. Alia touched the portal lightly. The energy calmed, its path opening smoothly. Behind her, Jonas and Lyra watched. Every time, Alia, Jonas said softly, you prove the impossible. Alia smiled. It's not just me. It's all of us. Humans touch because we understand, not because we dominate. That is why nothing is untouchable. Far across the galaxy, alien leaders whispered, debated, and calculated. We underestimated humans, admitted one. We feared them, but now we must respect them. They do not follow our rules, but they survive. And thrive. They are evolutionarily unmatched in instinct and understanding. And yet, said another, they do not seek to conquer. They do not seek to dominate. They touch, they learn, they stabilize. Perhaps they are what the galaxy needs. The humans continued their work, traveling to dangerous worlds, studying volatile relics, and exploring unstable systems. Everywhere they went, the same principle held: fearlessness, respect, and instinct allowed them to touch what others could not, to survive where others failed, and to understand what others could not comprehend. Alia paused on a distant cliff overlooking a glowing alien ruin. This is just the beginning, she said quietly. There is no limit to what we can touch, and no limit to what we can learn. Jonas nodded. And the galaxy will notice. They can fear us, or they can follow our example. Lyra smiled softly. Either way, humans are here, and the universe will never be the same. As the stars stretched endlessly above, humans continued to explore, to learn, and to touch what no other species could. The galaxy had finally understood a truth it had never anticipated. Humans are fearless, adaptable, and capable of touching anything, and in doing so, they became not just survivors, but guardians of possibility, stewards of understanding, and legends of the cosmos. The universe had witnessed humanity, and the galaxy would never forget it.